Well, hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Island Church Weekly Podcast on a frigid Tuesday, joined by Pastor Will, who is a little under the weather, but he's soldiering through. I'm impressed with your resilience in the face of some of the health stuff. Not crisis, but give everyone a quick update on kind of how you're feeling.
Yeah, just January's bad. I'm allergic to everything that grows and blows, as my grandma used to say.
Fair enough.
So the allergist tells me that January and August are a difficult time, and for that, and I should be back on my medication. And I've been so busy, I haven't really been on the sprays and the histamines, and so during the night, little sore throat from some nasal drip, I believe. So nothing that someone's going to catch or do anything like that. But and then of
Just
course,
enough to make you feel terrible.
yeah. That's right. It's good to be with you. Good to share with our people. Just some great things.
Absolutely.
Had a great weekend. So
So give us the update. It sounds like Sunday and just the weekend overall was a big one. Do you want to start with Sunday morning, or you want to start with momentum? Where you want to go first?
Well, I'm gonna start with Saturday.
Okay, yeah, let's do
I'll
it.
even go back today. Well, we celebrate the life of Helene Logue, a founding member of our church, and certainly appreciate we don't come into the world finding it empty, and people pay the price before us. And so Helene had just a remarkable lady. I think when we actually count the numbers and put the numbers together, we're probably at about 210 people for that celebration service of her life on the Saturday, and quite a number of people that probably do not know Christ heard the gospel. We understand there were some people here based on people that knew the people that were here. And so I really tried to share the gospel and just share with them what Helene would share if she was here with them. And so we were able to love on the family and make a clear gospel presentation to the people. So that was really good on Saturday. And we're certainly going to miss her and her influence and her life and her smile and sweet way. And but we know that she's in a great place right now. And so we want to thank her life by how we live. So that was Saturday. Then it moved us into Sunday. We had a special guest with us. We had my friend Gary Smith from New England area, and I've known Gary a long time, a lot of years, and Gary's remarkable at helping get things going from nothing or launching into new areas. And so we'll probably have a relationship with Gary in some ways. So he shared some ideas, looked at our church, we reviewed the area. When everyone else, Matt, was bundled in on Saturday, Gary and I were out at the baseball field. We were out at the park. We were driving around and after the service. And so we began to look, we just had a lot of conversation about our church, and he engaged with some of our people. So we had Gary. And then Sunday was, we picked up and I dealt with a passage. Even Sandy said, all my Bible study and all my sermons, I never heard a sermon out of Galatians chapter 2. Yeah. Because I did the sermon in this series of faith forward. How do we move our faith forward? Well, the people around us, Matt, you know this, they have a lot of influence on our lives, good, bad, ugly, indifference, whatever it is, as well as media. And so the Bible kind of calls us the world. And so there's all types of hidden pressures, and we call it peer pressure. And so actually Peter experienced some of this. Paul and Peter were together, and they kind of, Peter to the Jews, Paul to the Gentiles. They were going to move ahead together. And then all of a sudden, and Peter was engaging some of those Gentiles, but all of a sudden he pulls back because certain men were around.
Yeah.
In other words, peer pressure got to him. So we looked at that. It's good to know that we're not alone because, right?
Absolutely.
So we went down that route and talked about the importance of choosing our closest friends wisely. We want to influence other people. Obviously, we want to be friendly and engage them, but really just watch out, because even people that are close to us, they can kind of lead us down a wrong path. But Paul cared about Peter and confronted him.
Yeah.
And right. And so we pulled him back, and so that was really good. So that was a good day. And then momentum. Well, that's 5 great pots of chili, Matt.
Ooh, no spicy, right?
No, I didn't have any spicy. I don't know if it was there. I went for one little pot of chili. I didn't have a whole lot Sunday night, but that was good. I think about 40 people in our little fellowship hall. We were packed out in there. Maybe we would need a bigger area.
Maybe that could be helpful for events like that. Yep.
That would have been good, helpful on Saturday too, to have that celebration of life, right? Some additional space. We're working on that, making progress. So that was Saturday and Sunday. Let's say, and Sunday night. I think we shared on Sunday night, and I think we recorded it. I'm not absolutely certain, but I believe that we did.
Yeah.
And we reviewed just some things been happening since we met last, and went over that, just seeing how God's been working, kind of reviewed some things. And then we talked about some things that are upcoming, got an update on the building from David Brooks. So I appreciate David and everyone that's involved with that process and people giving to that. And then we had Gary share a little bit, and I asked him a few questions. So it was just a packed Saturday and Sunday, Matt.
I love it, man. So, what a great weekend for Island Church. I love to hear. I mean, it's in so many different ways, right? In ways that reach the community, ways that are for those in the church who are all in, you know, and then also for our Sunday mornings. Just seeing the church be the church in a whole host of ways is always such a great thing for our weekends.
Yeah, we got a good chance to run our heaters too.
That'll do. Stress test those systems. We don't get to do it many times a year, but make sure they're still working the way they need to. That's for sure. Awesome. Well, what's coming up that folks need to know about at Island Church?
Well, a couple of different kinds of things, Matt. You know, we got the Easter egg hunt, and the sunrise service, April 4 and 5. So here's what I want you to do. I want everyone. We'll put together teams. You're not going to be doing something that isolated. Tell Sandy, or tell Jolene. That's probably your best choice, is to tell one of those two ladies, because they're much better at memory than I am. But tell Jolene, and we want to put you together on a team. And if you have a particular area of interest, then we'll try to help you get fit in that. But we're going to do setup. We're going to do welcome and greeting. We'll run some games. We'll just engage with parents and kids. There's several ways that you can be involved on that Easter egg hunt, and then the same thing for the sunrise service. Sunrise service this year is going to be at 6:30. Because at 4:17 and 54 or 56 seconds is when the sun will rise.
Yep. We know down to the second, right?
Go back and get my seconds anyway. But just after 7:15 this year, we got that's when the sun's going to rise. So anyway, so we can start at 6:30 because we run about a 35-minute service. We try
That's a little bit tight. Yeah.
We run a pretty tight service, front to back.
Yeah.
Maybe 40, but we time it out, and we plan it out, and then I'm the one that has to make it all my end, not get long-winded. So we do that. So we make it work.
Very cool.
So plan on that. So let Jolene please take the initiative. You say I haven't done this before. That's okay. We'll help you do that.
Place to start.
It's a great place, and and particularly some of the men, and just doing shoulder-to-shoulder stuff, getting out there, getting engaged, and nothing like meeting at 4:30. It won't take a lot, but meeting at 4:30, driving in the dark, setting up, and creating light and sound from nothing. So
bring your coffee. I would also just encourage folks to say that a lot of times serving can feel like one of these things where in our brain it's like, oh, well, if I do it once, then they're gonna rope me in. I'm gonna have to do it forever, and there's no off ramp. And what if I miss a week, or what if I do? And it's easy for us to not take that step to serve because it feels like it can be overwhelming with the long-term commitment. This is such a great way to dip your toes, right? We talk about serving and kind of taking that next step, even with membership for those who are members. One-off events like these are such a wonderful way to dip your toes in and just see what God does in your heart while you serve without having to feel like you have to commit long-term. So I would just encourage folks, if you aren't serving right now, or you haven't served in a while, or you've been thinking about it, this is the perfect opportunity to try for one Sunday, 1 week, and then see what God does with it. That would be my encouragement to folks out there.
Good word, man. That's it. I mean, and it'll. I mean, you'll get a lot out of it. I mean, it's just when you're engaged, it just brings your faith forward and encourages you. So that's a really good thing.
And if you're struggling to feel connected, one of the best ways to get more connection is to serve alongside other people, shoulder to shoulder. You don't have to sit around in a small group and talk about your deepest fears and emotions and sins. Like sometimes it's just, hey, just be around other people doing work for the kingdom, and that will build some natural community and some friendships that you'll get to build there. So, Pastor Will, how can folks be praying for the church this week or taking the next step?
Yeah, well, I think that the next phase probably for us in terms of we're moving forward on the building. We need people to continue to give financially to our regular needs, and to operate the ministry, and then the building, of course, continue that kind of stuff, and just continue to pray for that whole process.
Yeah.
And for God just to raise up people. We're so thankful. We had so many guests. Man, I didn't even say that this week, but it's guests, and they were almost the last ones leaving here with us on Sunday. It's really good. But we need really someone to help us get back and to coordinate. This is part of what Stacy was doing. As kind of in that particular role, dealing with member engagement. We almost need a person dealing with ministry, kind of a coordinator type position. And we're probably going to try to hire someone. We need some resources to do it, but hire someone to run at least maybe a 6-week Wednesday night kind of deal for us, almost like a VBS, a weekly VBS, almost kind of like that.
Absolutely.
And I'm not sure if we'll do that in our building, like post Easter, but we got to find the right person. They can pray about that right person. We're going to look for a college student. We're going to look for some student ministries. We're going to look from other church friends, pastor friends I know. If you know someone that might could be work in that given area, we're going to need some of our people to certainly help as well. But they can pray about that. This is really going to be important, and maybe they'll come from another church, again, a BSU program, a student program, or something like that, to help us. And so we'll want to do that, and so they can pray about that ministry coordination, because we're going to need our people to engage. The way this thing's going to work, our building's going to be moving along, and things are going to start ramping up, and we've got to be ready. We can come up with some additional ideas to reach people, but we have to have the teams ready to support that, or it'll just collapse on itself, as you know about this stuff. So they can pray about ministry coordinator, they can pray about children's worker, and then we're so thankful for Judith, who's going to be helping us with children for the month of February, and in the morning. If you would like to consider or if you just like to look at that and pray about doing it, Matt, you know how I got to be pastor of this church. You know how many times I told them no? Times. You know what they did, Matt? They messed me up. They brought me over. They fed me. Good meal. And this is for the people on the leadership team. And then I told them no a bunch of times. And I said, no, I'm not looking for this. But they said, would you pray about it?
Yeah.
And what was I going to say as a pastor? I'm not doing that.
Right. No, I won't pray about it. You can't say that. Pray about it.
So over about 3 weeks period of time, God made it very clear that we should join in with people. We already love the people, getting to know the people as interim. I've been here about 9 or 10 months. And so we already knew that part. And so God just worked on us. And so just pray about it. Ask God to give you something. If you say, well, I don't have a burden about that, well, then just whatever it might be, in any area of ministry, ask God to give you one. So that's what they can do.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Pastor Will. Thank you all for watching the Island Church Weekly podcast. Stay warm out there, and we will see you next week on the Island Church Weekly podcast.